Welcome everyone to Raw Dog Game Reviews. I'm the Raw Dog, and this is what we do here at Raw Dog Game Reviews. I'm going to review a game I recently played. But here's the catch. There's no script and no editing. I'm just going to ramble on my review for the game, off the top of my head, off the cuff if you will. Now that that's out of the way, let's get to it, and let's go in Raw Dog. Okay, this time we are talking about Marvel Spider-Man 2. Now, obviously, to get it out of the way, again, I really enjoyed Spider-Man 2. I'm just going to refer to it as Spider-Man 2 just for the sake of my well-being. Anyway, it's a really good game. I really enjoyed it. It's really fun to play. I highly recommend it, especially if you really enjoyed the first Marvel Spider-Man. And I mean, it's an improvement on that game in basically every way. At least that's my opinion. And yeah, I'm a big fan of the Spider-Man games, all the way back from Spider-Man 1, way back in PS2 eras. So yeah, Spider-Man games are really good. Really great games. I always enjoy the feeling of swinging around New York. So I definitely have to say, it's a really good game. Especially the idea that they handled the Symbiote Saga, which is my favorite era of Spider-Man. So, or I guess my favorite saga, my favorite arc, whatever you want to say. It's my favorite part of Spider-Man. So, now, let's go ahead and get to the other areas. First, graphics. The graphics were really good, although I have to say they are also lacking. The city looks really good. It looks really nice. I don't know if it's to scale. I have no idea. It probably isn't to scale, but I mean, like, it looks like a really good city. The environments look really nice. The water looks good. The buildings look nice. Swinging around the city looks real. The trees look nice. I mean, for what you see of them, you're swinging around at really higher speeds, and I mean, like, the city looks good, but the graphics aren't the same level as like a game that's meant to be super high realistic graphics. So the graphics are good, but I mean, it's about what you expect. And then we go to the people. Well, the people are in that same manner. They're not great. The character models and the faces and the hair, like, they don't look good. At least they don't look good to me. I'm playing on PS5, so they definitely don't look good to me. Maybe they look amazing on PC. I don't know. I don't think so. I'm pretty sure it's that all of the graphical power goes into the city, which it should, and the suits, which again it should. So the faces of the characters, the character models themselves, for like especially the people, it doesn't look great. But then again, to go into that same vein, the Spider-Men, Peter and Miles in their suits look glorious. The enemies on screen, especially the symbiotes later on, oh yeah, spoiler warning, they look great. The other enemies, I guess they look okay. If you look about what you expect. But yeah, the game itself looks good. I wouldn't say it looks very good. I wouldn't say it's amazing by any stretch of the mind. So, but I would say, like I said, that the suits look really good. And the city looks really good. But the character models themselves look kind of bland. Like, Peter looks really bland when he's just being Peter. And looks like a few years or scales up from like an Oblivion model or something. So, I mean, I don't know. It doesn't look that great. Next, music. Let's see. The music is good. That's all I can really say. It's okay. Because I'm not really a BGM person. Like, if you tell me, oh, this is the background music to this awesome, famous game, I'll be like, yeah, that's cool. What game is it from? And like, you can't recognize it? Yeah, I won't be able to recognize it. I don't really pay that much attention to BGM. Now, lyrical musics and, like, you know, songs that have lyrics and have really good, like, choruses and beats, yeah, I listen to that and it's really cool. I like that. So if they had some really cool, you know, lyrical songs in there, I'd probably make a mention of that. But it doesn't. So I have to say the BGM of it, the music, nothing to write home about. Completely nothing to write home about. But I will say that the ambient sounds of the game while you're swinging around fit New York perfectly. I mean, like, I've traveled to New York myself, and I would definitely say that it sounds like New York. You hear the birds, you hear the cars, you hear the playing of the horns. It all sounds really like New York. So, yeah, there's not much more to say on the music, honestly, in my opinion. The sounds just sound good. The music sounds okay. You can hear some hero melodies in the background at points. It's okay. It's just okay, in my opinion. But then again, like I said, I'm not a BGM person. I'm not a big music person in the background area. Like, it just doesn't really get to me all that much. So it's just okay. Now, anyway, Gameplay. And here's where it's going to get big again. Let's try to cut it shorter this time. Gameplay. The gameplay was really good. I really enjoyed the gameplay. I really enjoyed the first Marvel Spider-Man, and like I said before, it's an upgrade on that in pretty much every way. So the swings are better. The game just feels better, especially when you're full leveled and everything. You just feel like you're fast. And you turn off that swing assist. Well, I didn't turn it off. Blasphemy. I turned it to 5. But anyway, you feel the serious speed and control you have. Like, it's nice. And yeah, I turned fall damage on too, but I mean, like, I don't fall. I mean, unless you're being really, really stupid or just letting yourself fall, you're not really going to fall. I mean, come on. It's not that hard to just grab another web. It really isn't that hard. So anyway, yeah, the game just feels really good to play. It feels good everywhere to play. And part of the gameplay is just like how the game runs and feels in itself. So I'm going to use that here too. And I gotta say, the game just feels really good. Like, the game just feels really good. So it just feels real too. One of the biggest things I noticed about the game was that swinging around New York just felt real. Like, the city felt lived in. So while you're swinging around, you can meet up with other characters, most notably Miles. There's a couple others. There's oh god, what's her name? The girl, the female girl you can meet up with too. She's there too, and so you can meet up with her in some crime as well. Like, I don't figure out her name. I don't care right now, but yeah, you can meet up with her sometimes. I don't know if you can actually meet up with Harry at some points. I don't remember. I didn't actually see him out there, but I would think that you could have at certain points of the game. But anyway, you can meet up, and you can fight crimes together, the normal, everyday, menial crimes. And that's pretty cool. It makes the city feel, like I said, lived in. Like, you don't just do everything by yourself. There are other people, other heroes fighting with you, and you can meet up with them at random times. It is random, and they'll just help you fight, and then you'll do your talk about it a little bit. You can do a pose with them, and you just both leave, and you're all set. And it really makes the world feel alive. Another thing is, like, when you're swinging around the city, you can swing over a car accident, and ambulance and police cars right there, and it's like, whoa, that wasn't here 5 minutes ago when I was swinging around. The city actually, things happen in the city, so it feels actually lived in. It feels like the city actually functions. So it feels really good, in my opinion. Or maybe if I'm just seeing that, maybe I don't pay as much attention. Maybe there's always a car accident there, and I just didn't notice it because I was flying around the city at such a high speeds. But either way, to me, the city feels really lived in, really real. It feels really good. So I have to say that's a definite plus for the game. I really enjoyed that. Another thing for the gameplay is that the combat feels good. The combat feels a lot more solid than it did in the last game. I mean, they all feel relatively the same, but the combat just feels more solid, feels tighter, feels like they just, made it better. But I mean, they didn't do anything crazy about it. They just made it better. It's still the same game. It's still the same combat, but it just like flows better. And then the biggest thing, obviously the biggest thing about it for me is, again, like the whole realism and the whole idea of what happens around you. So while you're swinging, anytime you're swinging in the world, you just let go of the web and you go to your next swing point. Peter or Miles will like do tricks and do flips in the air, even without you hitting the trick button. They'll start flipping around and doing like different things in the air to go along with their momentum. And that's awesome. As far as I can remember, that didn't happen in the last game. It definitely happened in the games prior to this. It happened a little bit in Miles' game, but it definitely happen in the first Marvel Spider-Man. So there's been a big influence on this one, and it feels really good because it feels more real to see Spider-Man do some flips after he does, let go of the web, and before he transitions to the next web, do some flips. And, just keep the momentum going, keep that whole thing going. And then when you hit the button for the next web, he doesn't just instantly pull back into a standard position in web like you would think in older games and stuff. He actually continues his fluid motion of being in that flip, and you see his arm come out and grab the web, and maybe now he has to finish that flip while his arm is out, outstretched with the web, and as he finishes that flip, or he'll like go into like a leg grab, like practically a Tony Hawk move, doing that web swing while he's in like this acrobatic stance from the flip, and it just continues from there, and it just looks really nice with the momentum, and it looks really good. It looks really real. Like the game actually just flows from web to web to web, not like it just goes from still to still to still. It looks and feels really nice. And like I said, the combat's good. I found some of the boss fights to be kind of annoying, but that's what it is. The combat isn't amazingly perfect or anything. It's just solid. But anyway, yeah, the gameplay was good. So let's go ahead and move towards. Let's stick to the gameplay for a few more minutes. Yeah, like I said, the combat was really good. I found a few boss fights to be annoying, but not overly annoying. More annoying on the factor of like how many times the boss regenerated their health bar. So had to just beat him up again, beat him up again, beat him up again. It felt like whatever, but it didn't feel like it was too much per se. And it felt good still. It didn't feel like it was overdoing it. It didn't feel like it was overselling it. But anyway, yeah, so, like I can't really say much else. The gadgets are easier to use. The symbiote powers or the arm powers or the venom powers, they're all easy to use, easy to hotkey, and they're good. They're nice. They're nice hits to the combat. It's actually really nice to have these big super moves because before you could only let out the finishers, and they're good and all. The finishers are cool, but they also are your regenerative health bar thing is the finish bar. So you kind of want to save the finish bar to save your life if you need it, which obviously I recommend hitting that bar up to its highest amount as quickly as possible. So anyway, I like the other option of being able to throw out other big moves rather than just throwing out the finisher all the time, because throw out the finisher, it just feels wasteful sometimes, especially when you want to heal. If you don't have all 3 bars yet, it just feels like a waste sometimes, especially on the lower enemies. If you're doing it on a big brute guy, then yeah, sure, but you're also blowing 2 finish bars on him. So it's got its pros and cons. I personally would rather save the finish bars, or I guess what's it called? The focus bars? Focus bars. There we go, focus bars. I'd rather save the focus bars for healing rather than using finishers. I'd rather just throw out the symbiote moves, the venom attacks, or the arm moves. I'd rather throw those out anytime. Anyway, to continue, let's see. Yeah, let's go on the story. So, yeah, story. I loved it. I loved it so much. It was amazing. It was probably the best version I've ever seen of the symbiote story. I go way back in the 90s not 90s comic book, 90s TV show, and love the Symbiote Saga. I watched that all the time. I was always really sad that the Symbiote Saga didn't get rerun as much as the rest of the whole series. Like, the Symbiote Saga would come on for certain special occasions back in the 90s. Obviously, the first time it came out was awesome. But then, when they rerun the show endlessly, the Symbiote Saga would just get skipped. And it was kind of annoying that it would just get skipped. And, it'd be like a special occasion when it actually came on. I would definitely sit down and watch it again. If it went over days, went over hours, I would just sit down and watch the whole Symbiote Saga again, because before you could just find it on YouTube or something. That was how you did it. It was on that special occasion, and you just watched it. I loved it. I loved the Symbiote Saga. So anyway, I actually was not aware before. I watched a lot of videos, did some research, and I found out that the symbiote was not always originally angry, or did not always make Peter angry. That was cool to find out that the 90s show actually instigated that, and that's where that whole thing came from. That's cool, because that's where I started. I was never really a big comic books person. I'm actually much more for the TV shows and the movies. I'm not actually all that big on comic books. Yeah, blasphemy, sure, whatever. Anyway, yeah. I love the Symbiote Saga. It's awesome. It's amazing. I think this was the best way I've ever seen it done. Peter was really good. He got really angry. He did the right things. I really liked where it was going. It was interesting that it was on Harry and not on Eddie, but nothing that says that it needs to be on Eddie, in my opinion. I actually really liked the idea of it being on Harry and the whole way it worked and the whole way it did things. I liked the progression, the symbiote kind of worked to how their minds worked. At first they perceived it as this nanomachine suit that was like a battle suit for Harry, so it looked like a nanomachine battle suit for Harry. That was cool. And then it transferred on to Peter, and it still kind of looked like a nanomachine suit, but it looked like an upgraded version with some spider lines, and it was like, oh, that's cool. And then they find out it's an alien, and then it looks more like an alien on Peter, and it's like, oh, that's cool. And, then they find out more things about it, and it's still it changed ever so slightly as the game goes on, that it's really awesome that it does that. The symbiote is changing how it looks according to how you perceive it. That was really cool. And yeah, I just really, the storyline was just awesome. I was going from scene to scene thinking, like, what's going to happen next? Is Peter going to be the big Venom? Is something, is going to be like a big turnaround thing? But no, I mean, it kind of went the way you expected it to go. I kind of figured that was going to do that anyway. There better be some DLC. It'd be freaking awesome if there's some DLC. And it was a really good version of the story. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed all the points it hit with, you know, how Harry finds out he's Spider-Man, how the sacrifice works at the end. Like, I really liked where everything went. Oh yeah, I should talk about the Mary Jane section. I thought that was okay. I thought it was okay. Just okay. I found more annoyance in, like, the deaf girl. I forgot her name. Miles' girlfriend. I found more annoyance in her section. But because they were all short-lived though this time, like really short-lived, I felt it was more okay and more eh. But either way, obviously, we're all here to play as Peter and Miles, so that was more interesting. But anyway, yeah, I felt like the story was really good, really interesting, really fun. Like I said, best version of the symbiote saga I ever saw. I really liked how the Venom just started to take over Harry's mind and all these things. And you can see, like, how it worked in Peter's mind, although it wasn't, like, taking over his mind in the same manner. It was still, like, warping his mind. And, yeah, it was just really, really interesting. It was really good. I liked it. I liked it a lot. I liked the other stories too. I liked how they brought in Carnage at the end for, like, one of the side stories. I hope that's gonna be one of the DLCs. Carnage DLC, please. That'd be awesome. I'd love it. And, you know, the other side stories were pretty good too. I kind of wish there was more to do with Mysterio. I kind of saw where his whole storyline was going, like, the minute it started. And I kind of wish you could do his side quest as Peter as well, but they were purely Miles side quests. And I mean, sure, whatever, okay, but whatever. So I kind of wish that they did more with that, but whatever. I kind of wish that more of the quests were universal. Like, there are some side quests that are purely for certain things. Like I said, the Mysterio side quest is only for Miles. The University quest, again, only for Miles. But then again, that one made sense. But like I said, the Mysterio one's really the only one, I guess. The Mysterio one's just the big one. I would have liked to do some of those with Peter and have some fun with that. And maybe the other one, the symbiote ones, were only Peter. You couldn't do them with Miles. So yeah, like, I thought that was kind of weird and annoying. Oh, also, I platinumed this game. So I have to say the platinum, super easy. I definitely say that if you're going to play this game and you're going to play it, like, all the way through, do all the side quests, go ahead and just get the platinum. It's like 2 or 3 more trophies after you do all the side quests anyway. And those trophies are really easy. Going to Aunt May's grave, going to this trophy that Miles won, and, like, walking around the baseball field. It's so easy to just do those trophies. Those are the only 3 trophies I had by the end of the game. But the game finished, I had every single other trophy besides those 3. And I was like, so where are those in New York? Looked up a guide, got them instantly. It's so easy. Platinuming this game was nice and easy. That's how I like it. I prefer platinum to be nice and easy. I prefer it not to be tedious. Like, I don't platinum a lot of games, but I platinum some games. And usually if I platinum it, it's because it's simple and it's not going to take, you know, years to platinum. It's going to take like 5 minutes to platinum after beating the game. For me, beating the game should be the main priority, not, you know, platinuming and not completing it. And I only bother platinuming if it's going to be taking me like 5-10 minutes, maybe an hour after completing the game. But anyway, so yeah, I definitely give my recommendation Spider-Man. I'm trying to make these videos shorter, so I'm going to try to start wrapping up and try to start closing it down here. So yeah, the game was really good. The story was really fun, really good. I can't wait to see where they're going to go next. I mean, we know there's going to be DLC. There was a bunch of DLC for the first one, so I don't think I'm going to say, like, where the sequel's going to go. I'm saying where I'm hoping the DLC is going to go. I'm hoping the next DLC we see is going to be Carnage, and there's going to be this whole big to-do with Carnage, and maybe we get to do some more with Black Cat. I don't know. Maybe we get to do some more with Doctor Strange, because Doctor Strange was talked about. There was a little scene with that. And, yeah, I just hope that there really isn't much more to do with MJ or the other girl. I forget her name. She really didn't matter to me. But yeah, I hope there is a Carnage DLC that would make my day. So I hope to see a lot more. Honestly, Spider-Man was my game of the year, 2023. So yeah, but then again, I did play Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate's supposed to be really awesome. I want to play it, just time. Anyway, so yeah, I feel like I've rambled on enough. Spider-Man was really good. I say if you're a fan of Spider-Man games, go out, get it, play it, love it. It's a lot of fun. Get 100%, get a nice easy platinum. It's a great game. I highly recommend it. And yeah, I guess that's really all there is to it. Okay, well, that was my raw review. Thanks for listening, and if you liked it and want to hear more, you can like and subscribe. But I'll be back here regardless whether you like it or not, with more raw dog gaming reviews. See you next time. Bye-bye!